This is pretty great background music.
It is done by Brentofloss. I highly recommend his other stuff.
I'll look into it.
And oh yeah, Gold King, the Dusty doll better do something today. We need its power. It probably should have done something last game. And our rolls are garbage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your rolls were constantly garbage last game.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
that or give me the power to activate it.
You can activate it. That's probably something better than me constantly forgetting that it exists.
Alright, so do you want me to give me like an item or something for it, or like
I think someone has the Dusty Doll in their inventory.
it's me?
Then you have the item.
I don't have the info like on what it does and how many times a day can it do it and all that other stuff. Because all you said was, it will randomly give you bardic inspiration.
Yes, that's it. Congratulations, you know everything about the item.
Okay,
It's
but
also somehow sentient.
yes, but if I'm going to be activating said bardic inspiration,
You just pat its head, and it'll hug your finger or something.
okay.
It'll do something cute, and you will feel inspired, bardically.
I guess cute can be an art form.
So you all ready?
Yes.
That's good. The answer's actually no, but... Well, yes, but no.
It's the one on the left. And if there is an actual answer on the left, then it's the one that's vertical.
What if there's one that's just not even an answer? It's just a loud, screaming fox.
Then it's the one on the left or 32.
We'll go 32.
I'm gonna be right back. Moment. It won't take long.
I hope so.
I love Douglas Adams books. It's such a weird way of writing.
Bless me. Okay, I'm actually in the stream now. You've only got 3 people watching, and there's more than 3 people in the game. What's going on here?
I'm having technical issues my side. Ignore me. I think I'm in now.
You think?
Well, it's playing it, but it's not seeming to count my viewership.
It only counts viewership if you are, if the audio is enabled.
Oh, I have the audio disabled.
But you can have the stream audio playing with the tab muted.
Alright, tried that. Yeah, that count. Well, it went up when I did that, so.
And you found a person.
No, I don't. I'm still a null. So the stream viewership went up by 2, so I guess a null is 2 persons.
No, I had mine muted in the window. So I just muted the tab.
My cat is going to attempt to make this very hard to play.
How's that?
She is attempting to sit on my mouse.
As long as she's not sitting in your mouth, you're fine.
She is blessing your dice rolls.
I hope so.
No, that's a cat. That would be cursing them.
Hey, cursing is my thing.
Okay, rabbit
She's
boy.
a nice cat, though. Mostly.
Mostly.
She bullies the other cat. Though the other cat bullies her, so who knows who's at fault there.
It's their fault for being cats.
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome. I am Razim, and this is Tales of Miraleth Dungeons and Dragons. I will turn this over now to, let's see. We'll turn it over to Zyre for the recap. Yeah.
This should be interesting.
Zyre, you're up.
Okay. So last week we tried to infiltrate the criminal underground, sort of. And now we're gonna die horribly.
Well, that's an actually competent recap. Thank you.
You know, if we're gonna die horribly, I have to say infiltrate. I have to correct this one thing. Infiltrate is a really strong word for what we did.
It's more like befuddle.
We incompetently tricked incompetent thieves.
Or did they trick you?
Maybe a bit of both?
Oh, time will tell. Time is good at doing that.
Also, if my cat screams into the mic, I'm sorry.
Meow.
She won't do it now that I mentioned it. That was a prevention tactic.
Ah, good.
All right. So he showed up. We're in the middle of combat. Let's kick some butt.
Yes, all right. We'll get right into it. But before we do,
No.
as is per custom,
Now.
no. We need to recall the tale of the viewer, because the viewer is also part of our story. Hello, everybody. I'm Gold King, and I will be your DM for tonight and forever. At least on Wednesdays. And as you, the viewer, I always invite you to join us in our little game of Dungeons and Dragons. Where you, the player, or at least where we last had the player leave off, was,
I
let's
return.
see if I recall appropriately. I believe they had ran into McCann leaving the gates of Farah, escaping from there and suggesting that the viewer come and join him for some song and a place by the fire. It's been a long-awaited reunion with the Fox Bard. He seems to be taking his time and planning on heading north to a large city called Brightwall. And as he prepares his morning meal with you and gets you a nice bit of breakfast on the campfire, seems he had some sausages, he starts to wake you up slowly and continue his little story while you all start to get ready to head out again. The story that, of course, left off on a rather fine cliffhanger as the party themselves were about to face the apprentice of midnight, known as Twilight. Now we'll go ahead and reshare the map.
Enjoy your stay.
Yes, indeed.
I am back, by the way.
Korbor the Slavic Fox.
Oh.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome indeed. Ah, let's get this party started.
Yeah.
Indeed, let's. As we last left off, the individual known as Twilight was standing before all of you. The clear catfolk person who wears a sort of disarming face mask. You had also entangled a, I believe that is a Shadow Mastiff, yes. So he is now in a fight or flight mode, and well, you took flight out of the equation, so you must now fight it as well. Luckily, the guard captain does seem to be swinging back around while the guards chase off the lesser criminals, as he has his eyes on the prize. So, everyone, we can go ahead and roll initiative.
But weren't we already in combat? I like my current initiative.
I honestly do not recall.
I like my 21.
That's better. I'll take it.
There you go.
I'll take mine too.
All right, that's everyone. We got well, Elman didn't actually need initiative because he's not in this battle, unfortunately. We've got Craig's
Yeah.
Eisen, Risforn, and Kai. That's important. Okay. And as we begin combat, it goes to Graham first.
Well, first things first. Graham shall unleash Snowy. So Snowy's invisible, and Snowy is going to retrieve retrieve said crown.
All right.
And it since it can carry it, and the equipment can turn invisible. The crown turns invisible with Snowy.
I'm gonna need Snowy to give me a strength roll because it is a very heavy lead chest.
Whoa.
He's not taking the chest, he's literally just taking the crown out of the chest, which was left open.
This is true.
And I'm pretty sure a crown is not going to exceed Snowy's capability of carrying.
I accidentally closed the map. Could you reshare it? I'm sorry.
Certainly. You're not sorry. Don't pretend.
I have technical difficulties and that's impacting the stream. I am sorry.
Say, is it possible I could make a perception or insight roll to can edit to see if I can what should we call it like get a feeling that you guys are in combat and you may need my
That might be a perception, because I think Twilight did make kind of a big boom when he knocked all the guards down.
so can I make a perception roll for that?
Yeah, sort of. It's just that he's outside the walls. But you can. It's just going to be a fairly high DC. So just so you're aware.
Okay. Well,
Because you're outside sitting with Graham, all the
Doesn't-
guards on
he
the
doesn't-
walls haven't actually noticed.
doesn't-
How did they not notice the big boom?
It wasn't really a boom. It was more of a
Nope.
force. Yeah, that's not
Nope.
gonna be it. You're still sitting there talking with Graham. Graham seems very content to sit there and wait with you. He smiles as he softly smokes his pipe.
Well, anyways,
Well,
Tapping his fingers.
continuing on with what Graham's doing here.
Right.
Alright, so first thing I need to do is...
So you still have like
Graham?
you hold on. You still have a sort of perception tied to Snowy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So When Snowy picks up the crown, something happens.
Oh,
Yes.
what is
Uh,
this something?
The something is you find your perception to be heavily altered. Altered to the point of the world seems to sort of almost fade away and you're standing in darkness. And this is only because your perception is tied to Snowy.
Well, it's not like currently. It's more like Snowy can relay what he's seeing.
right.
It's not like I'm directly seeing through Snowy's eyes at this particular time, because
I
that
gotcha.
would be me blind to my own senses, and we got someone right in front of us.
But story.
I mean, you can still tell me, because again,
Yes.
Snowy can relay everything that he is seeing.
Well, Snowy is going to be seeing literally nothing except for in the distance he kind of sees a sort of weird blue light, and his perception slowly shifts and looks out over to it, almost as though his very perception itself is searching over a great distance before you find that the blue light that is seen in the distance through this just complete otherwise darkness eventually comes into this blue light and focuses in on it, and you see the face of the king with blue eyes glowing as it looks down to the crown and
Oh,
Snowy.
is this a menacing stare, or like
Something of the sort.
something of the sort?
It's really hard to tell what's going on, especially since I assume your perception is a little divided.
Hang on. Insight, Snowy.
Hmm.
Are you okay?
Hmm. Snowy can tell that the gaze, while being almost a bit of a poker face, still seems to be like the glowing eyes of the king, which are the blue lights that we're seeing, slowly focus in and squint at the crown, stare at it curiously, as well as look to Snowy as well. Snowy would probably feel a strange sense of fear if Snowy feels fear.
I think Snowy is capable of feeling fear.
Okay. Snowy would feel fear. And would actually probably need a bit of a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh yeah. Main. Snowy might be okay. Snowy is not okay.
Snowy drops the crown and the entire thing fades away and is just a little, shocked and stunned by all that which happened. But you can take the rest of your turn now.
Okay. So did the thing there, and now I need to do I need to see what this thing does. So it's been a while. Okay, melee attack first. Can the Dusty Doll do its thing? Not that I think it's gonna help.
Certainly. You get one bardic inspiration for your next turn.
All right.
Unless you want to give that bardic inspiration to someone else.
Nope, I think I'm going to need it.
The Dusty Doll gives a little squee of delight, and your ear softly twitches as it squeezes.
Alright, well, I missed my attacks, so, and I don't really think I can move anywhere currently, so.
I mean, you can try. You just can't.
Well, there's a bear behind us, and I'm not provoking an attack of opportunity at this time.
Yeah, because you took an attack, you can't take a disengaging action.
So, yeah, that's it for my turn, so there we go. Mistborn!
Ooh, I know. Hey, Zyre.
Yeah.
Risfern's gonna slap you on the back.
Okay.
Just exhale. When your turn comes.
Okay.
Oh, that's only a bonus action. Perfect.
It looks like it's a concentration.
Well, yes, but with it being a bonus action, that means I can use a cantrip to electrifying bolt as well. Though that was spectacularly bad.
And it does, in fact, miss as your lightning shoots through the air. And
Fine.
she rather easily ducks to the side as it like sheens and blasts into the walls behind him. The captain of the guard actually takes a bit of a hesitation, sort of like peeking around to see where that came from before he would start to move forward again. Where is my... There it is.
Why is my curse stuff not applying to anything? Oh, I know why. I did the wrong thing.
'Cause you're bad. Why are you cursing now?
Did I use it last time? I don't remember.
I don't recall you saying that you were using your curse.
It was the first thing I said.
Was it?
Yes, immediately after Snowy, I was like, I'm going to curse that.
Okay. I'll take your word. Right, so Craig, you didn't actually say anything, but I see a roll for your attack with a longbow, so I'm going to assume...
I was waiting for that to be done. Craig is going to pull out his longbow and fire at Twilight. Or Midnight. Something.
Okay. So hold on, what's going on here with the curse and whatnot? Because you just reapplied the curse again.
It wasn't the actual effects weren't actually applied to any of the characters because I was dragging the wrong thing onto Twilight, so I fixed that.
Okay. All right then. So you took a shot with your arrow, and it hit. So go ahead and roll me damage.
Alright, 1 second, my mouse is being dumb.
Is it because your cat sat on it?
No, it's because it was hit by a bus, I'm guessing.
What if it was hit by your cat?
That could have also have happened.
All right, the figure staggers slightly as your arrow seems to find a nice little weak chink in the plates of the armor, and it seems to sink the arrow a little bit into one of their shoulder blades, specifically their right shoulder blade. And they just kind of give you a glare as they hold their blade out to you.
Craig is not bothered by being glared at. He seems readying to fire another shot.
Craig feels perfectly safe, as there are 2 people that Twilight has to go through to get to him.
All right, and so on to the the guard captain. The guard captain would move in, and he would prepare the sword. I believe he has.
You know,
Double
I'm
check.
actually kind of curious what he did after what his reaction to Graham cursing someone is.
Yes, the guard would have a short blade drawn, and he would move up behind, and he would try to go for a grapple attack, which he fails horribly as Twilight kind of just like back elbows him off and staggers him back. And now it is Zaire's turn.
All right, I'm gonna listen to Ristforn and exhale.
That way, not yet. Do it that direction. Rizforn would be shouting that out, hoping that Zaire will listen and
And doesn't fry the guard.
All right.
lightning comes out. I'm glad that the nearly max damage went on Twilight, even if he saved.
She did save. As Twilight kind of just... It is a female.
No, it isn't it.
Can't have a gender if you're wearing a mask.
Either way, I mean, it does have damage on success, so you know.
Right, yes. Yes, it does. So Twilight does move sort of her arms to sort of like block the face and mask general portion of their body from the blast, but they do seem to take it, though they take it with relative stride as they're still kind of standing there as... You said it was lightning?
Yep.
As sort of lightning softly crackles around them. Also, Crag, your damage didn't take for some reason, so I'm going to... Remember to please roll damage on the enemy. Anywho. And the Shadow Mastiff likewise would be caught in the blast and would give out a small howl as it is electrified. Moving on, it is now Kai's turn.
That took, that would take Zaire's action, so Zaire could still attack with bonus action.
Oh, okay. I assume Zaire will do so.
Yeah.
Give me the roll.
Oh wait, Zaire's a,
Druid.
I keep thinking Zaire is a monk!
I do too. I was like, Zaire's totally gonna do some monk things now. You were talking about the bonus actions.
Zaire, can we just have you reclass to a monk?
For everyone.
Well, you can't use your attack as a bonus action. Monks have bonus action attacks, but...
Alright, back to Kai then. And Kai can't really do anything.
Kai can roar very loudly. Attempt an intimidation check.
Okay, you can try.
Do it. Demoralize them.
That did not work. My mouse is angry. Why is it not working?
I'm gonna be angry with you here in a second.
I'd rather mouse be angry than dice be angry. The dice are not pleased with me.
So I'm supposed to roll the intimidation onto the character.
No, you just roll it into chat. The other thing you roll into character are attacks. Kai's proficient in intimidation, what?
That was one of the I think so. I don't know.
All right. Well,
I mean, I can see a bear being proficient in intimidation. It's kind of one of their things. They're big
Bears
and
are
scary.
scary.
okay. I don't know why I can't just. I thought when I was gonna click and drag the wisdom check, it would be okay. Whatever. I'll just whatever. Yeah, they make the success easily. So Kai has done a roar, and a few people are glancing over to the bear. I will actually go ahead and give Element another perception check since Kai is roaring before his turn. Element.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, Element, you hear Kai roaring. Clearly not, a peaceful, calm bear roar that, she's normally quiet. So you know something's up.
I'm also assuming that the guards on the wall also heard that.
Most likely. Yeah, probably.
Okay, Element.
I think large bear noises are something the guard should pay attention to.
So with that, it is Element's turn.
Okay, having heard Kai scream, Element is gonna turn to the bed door and immediately hand him the 15 yens that he's supposed to give him.
The what?
The 15 yens he's supposed to give him.
You're supposed to be returning a magic item.
No, I was supposed to give him 15 gems for the item.
You guys were waiting for something to happen. Do you have 15 gems?
Yes, I do. They gave it to me right before
Yes,
the whole scheme.
he was waiting for us to leave so he could pay Greaves, so Greaves doesn't hunt us down and murder us in our sleep.
Yes.
All right. Well, there's no reason. Yeah, you can't pay him right now. So, if you have 15 gems in your inventory,
I have exactly that.
you what?
I have exactly that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get rid of them. And gems have been paid out. Okay, so you hastily count out the gems and hand them to them, and quickly move to wherever you want to move to.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move over here. Or rather,
I'll just say you were running really fast.
Yeah.
All right, and that'll be your turn. Where'd the combat tracker go? There it is. And now it is the turn of the Shadow Mastiff. Now, the Shadow Mastiff, if I recall, was being bound or something?
Ensnaring trap. He's being held down by some vines.
Okay. Is there a save to try and get out of them?
I think
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure it's a strength check, and I don't know what the DC is for it.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me see what he rolls for. Oh, here we go. So the next time a creature...
Oh, he also takes 1d6 of damage.
Okay, so it's against your DC. It's against your spell save DC. So I needed spell save DC from you. Well, I roll for it.
From me?
Did you do the ensnaring thing?
Yeah.
Then yes.
I have no idea where to find them.
I think it's usually what is it? 10 plus your spell casting modifier? Or is it, I can't remember if it's 9 or 10 plus your spell casting modifier.
What's his spellcasting modifier then?
If it was I think if it was an arrow he bought, I think it just whatever.
I don't think it was an arrow. I think it was a spell. Or did he not? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I cast a spell on an arrow.
Okay.
Let
So-
me.
I already have the roll for this creature, and I'm pretty sure it's succeeding, but just want to double check and make sure we understand how this functions before we continue and have to do this a million other times.
What are you going on about?
We need his spell saving DC.
Whose?
Craig's.
I would be 8 plus the spellcasting modifier. Plus proficiency, I believe.
Okay.
So it's
So
my
Isaac
spellcasting
Mirror.
modifier.
Depends on the class. Are you casting one of your ranger spells?
Yeah.
He already cast one, yeah.
Then it would be... I'm pretty sure that's wisdom.
So 14 is my wisdom. So
The modifier
plus
would
2.
be 2 then, so 10 plus your proficiency modifier. So 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Mastiff might be able to beat a 12.
Yeah, it absolutely did. So the Mastiff wriggles its way free of the vines and gives a bark and a snap, but I'm going to see if it notices something.
Question: Does breaking a snare use up an action or something like that?
I would assume so. Kind of like getting out of
Ah.
prone or something. The creature does seem to like growl at Eisen and the group, but does seem to sniff around and I'm just gonna roll something here. Don't mind me.
You're willing to see if it notices the invisible rabbit, aren't you?
Probably.
I mean, it can technically sniff out Snowy still, but it's just going to attack with disadvantage.
Well, you see, the Shadow Mastiff has some interesting traits.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very, very good dog to have, especially if you're a thief. But the Mastiff does seem to. It does seem to take a note of Snowy's general location before glancing back to.
Oh, we should probably put Snowy on the map too.
Yeah, we. Where is Snowy? There's Snowy.
That's not where the box with the crown was.
I think it's like basically approximately right there.
Yeah. That's why I moved it into the
Okay,
this space.
fine.
That's where...
Fine. If you want.
Trying to put Snowy in attack range, you bastard.
Anywho, it goes on to Twilight's turn. And dear Jesus Christ. Okay. I didn't actually look at Twilight on the combat tracker. Let's see. So we've got Twilight. She kind of glares between Zyre and Graham, and with the kind of like cursey whatever going on, she decides to attack Graham.
I didn't even hit her yet. But fine. Do it. Do it. I dare you.
Okay. She.
I
goes,
imagine Graham actually saying that watching her. Look
Well,
around.
he
Goes ahead
doesn't have
and makes the
snowy, so
first
he
attack.
probably does.
The first attack misses, but this thing has a multi-attack, so it's attacking you again. Oh no.
You crit, didn't you?
Yeah, Zim, we need a crit card.
You fucking bastard, you.
Let us see what fate holds for Graham. What kind of attack?
This is going to be a slashing attack with psychic damage.
With psychic
Oof.
damage?
Yes.
Something slipped. Quadruple damage, and your AC is reduced by 1d8 for 1d8 rounds.
Well, you're right. I'm probably dead because I don't think I got enough health to survive quadruple damage from a boss.
Well, we'll see.
I only have 35 health.
Let's take a gander, my boy.
No, with how many damage dice you rolled?
Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and be nice.
I mean,
Graham,
we
you're just
quadruple the number of dice that it is.
Okay, well, that might be different actually.
Well, either way,
I'll
I
just
still
roll the
get the
dice
big
4
roll.
times then. So I'm gonna be nice and just simply say, Graham, you're in KO HP.
All right, and Twilight gets this. Oh wait, I forgot to roll the fucking DC save for that. My bad.
Also, as nice as it would be, I'm pretty sure you can't use that if you're unconscious.
It goes off. The way that it works is that it goes off whenever I'm taking damage. So even if I'm going down, I still can get it off. It's basically how it works.
It's more of a trap.
It's a dex DC of 13 to do half damage. So
Okay. They can probably.
It says you point your finger and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. It requires you to use a reaction. Which means that if you are knocked unconscious, you can't use a reaction.
You mean if you're not conscious?
alright. I guess I see.
All right. Well then.
So I guess remove 19 the damage then, and I'm just down.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and again be nice and say you're only at 0 HP because, ooh boy. Listen, buddy, you don't want quad damage from this thing.
No, I don't. Which is why I'm still baffled that it chose to attack me instead of the person who actually hit him.
Don't underestimate this person's intelligence. They understood what magic you were casting, and so what this chain of events looks like is it looks as though the masked individual with the blade seems to almost feign one attack before moving in and slashing at Graham, leaving a large gash across his torso as he kind of falls back, trying to reach his hand out to get that spell off, but quickly fades from reality as he kind of just flops back onto the ground right in front of Graham.
One hit KO.
Yeah, no. The guard kind of like slowly almost like takes a half step back, like, oh, jeez. Okay. But it does seem to be, strangely enough, trying to take a more defensive stance as it holds its blade now to Zyre. It seems to be giving you guys, I don't know, a bit of a warning? Question mark? Something of the sort. Of course, it's completely wordless and mouthless, so you can take it however you want. It could be simply challenging you to continue battle, but that is quite the display. As its literal first attack. So, that being said, that is the end of its turn. Snowy would go on Graham's turn. I don't know why he has different whatever. Oh, we're at the bottom of the initiative, that's why. So we'll go ahead and skip over back to...
No, familiars have their own turn.
Oh, they do? Okay, well then we didn't have an actual initiative for Snowy, so I guess Snowy will just be at the end of the initiative.
Alright, Snowy's gonna try for the crown again.
Alright, picks it up, things go dark.
Wisdom, yes.
You can roll with advantage because he understands what's happening this time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to kind of not drop the crown, but it is still basically... Snowy is still basically blind and can see nothing but these, like, basically staring eyes of the king. It's still unnerving, but...
Even like just by touching it?
Yes. It's definitely got some form of enchantment on it that's doing this.
Can I roll Arcana to figure out if there's a way to like negate this effect?
Sure. Can you, like, what are you still?
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, Snowy definitely can't. I'm just trying to figure out does Snowy still have, like, how much? What's the word I'm looking for? How much utility can Snowy serve with you now being unconscious?
Not a whole lot outside of potentially just well, actually, I don't know. With you like blinding me. Snowy is just basically invisible with the crown right now.
Yes.
But the crown is also invisible, so.
Yes. Though, unfortunately, the Mastiff knows where Snowy is.
Hang on, I should roll stealth. The Mastiff knows where Snowy is.
Yeah, it does.
Wait,
it's already.
Would I get advantage because I'm invisible?
I would give you advantage, but the fact is that you're also blind, which makes it very, very difficult to move in a very... You need to be able to know what you're doing and see what you're doing to be...
Alright. Continuing on!
Would say the advantage and disadvantage of that cancel each other out. It is City... nope, not Citier's turn, because Citier is still not with us. Rest in peace. And Graham, you are KOHP. Go ahead and give me endurance save. Or death save. Yes.
Constitution.
Right, yeah.
Wait, no, death save. Whoop. Wait, no, if I'm at 0, I don't need to roll death saves, do I? Isn't that only once you're below 0? No, never mind.
I mean, you're definitely below 0. I'm gonna say that.
Alright. I'm dying.
Yeah. I was just gonna... I'm being nice and saying you're not instant dead. So that's one success. Good on you. I think it's 2 more you need.
Did it do 70 damage?
Did more.
Why is this thing even anywhere near us?
Because Gold King is wanting to throw something that we cannot possibly defeat for some reason.
Proliferate.
It's there's story reasons behind it. Yes, this is the boss you do not want to fight yet. Eventually, but not yet.
Alright, Rizforn's going to grab for Graham and drag him away.
All right. I believe you can go ahead and do so, and I think you can just do a normal movement, like trying to squeeze past Kai.
Just throw me
I
on
could
top
get to
of
about
Kai.
here.
I will also state that it did quadruple damage because of a critical.
I know, but if it did that much damage, even if it was quadruple, that thing is nowhere in the realm of this thing should be nowhere near us at this level. Because 70 damage is an absurd amount.
It is definitely a challenge for the team. Craig, what do you do?
Craig is going to attempt to fire his arrow again.
All right, you fire your arrow again. Go ahead and roll me that attack, boy. All right, your second attack. You fire again, trying to hit the same mark, but it's not quite as accurate, and it hits the armor but scrapes off of it. The arrow softly.
Apparently I used the wrong attack.
Oh, you did?
Apparently I lunged at him and bit him.
You natural bited. Yes, okay, I'll go ahead and give you another attack for that then.
No, I'll just do that.
Well, what's your modifier? Wait, you mean you're going to bite them?
I don't know. I was gonna try to go with my mistakes today since my mouse is dumb. But if you want me to re-roll, I'm fine with it.
No, go ahead. You have a down mouse. Okay.
Alright, pick whichever one you want.
Well, I mean, this is the longbow is literally the same roll, but with your proper attack modifier, and that actually hits. So I'm gonna go with that because you would actually have hit your last turn had you not had a stupid mouse. So you go ahead and you take aim at the same spot, and you're actually able to sink another arrow into it. And now there's basically two arrows filling the same sort of gap. Go ahead and roll me damage to see how deep it gets. Okay, and that's another good bit of damage. You don't think that these arrows are sinking too deeply, but you can definitely tell that's starting to irritate this person. And boop, on to the veteran. The guy softly tries to move around and behind to give some additional threat, and once again would move for another. He's trying to apprehend them more than he's trying to attack and kill them. Probably there's a really good bounty on their head, but strangely you haven't seen a bounty for Twilight. Nonetheless, he makes his roll. Oh, okay. Hello. And the guard actually succeeds in wrapping their arms around Twilight's neck, seeming to throw them off balance, and he seems to have actually have her grappled from behind. Oh, whoop. Wrong. Zyre, it is your turn.
All right.
Your next attack will have advantage because they are grappled.
Zyre, you can still use the dragon breath.
I mean, I would advise against it since that would hurt the guard and might break the grapple.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my flame blade, which I cast last time we were playing, so it should still be up.
All right. Flame blade with advantage. That's a 15. You didn't actually attack them, so I have to check their.
Oh,
AC.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. Unfortunately, that Your flame blade strikes them very hard across their torso, much like they did to Graham, but their armor seems to be very, very solid. Very, very well to protect against such a slashing attack. Though you are able to hopefully make out some better spots to attack, but that was just like, you just hit them basically right across the chest piece, and it's just that strong, unfortunately. It is Kai's turn. What does Kai do? Craig? Craig?
Kai tries an intimidation again.
Okay, go ahead and give me that intimidation roll. And we'll give them a roll. Unfortunately, they beat out Kai again, I'm afraid. Does Kai do anything else this turn? She just kind of like stomping around. Being like,
She's kind of blocked in on both sides, so...
She is. I mean, she can move through friendly squares, but like, you know. You guys
She'd land squat on me and Zaire.
This is what I do. I sit on.
Which is not above her personality, but I think she knows it's a dangerous time.
Yeah.
She's going to growl angrily and...
If you moved yourselves appropriately, you could probably make room for Kai. But
yeah, I'll move forward my next turn.
Okay. Element. You've got a downed fella to your left. You got stuff going on to your right, but there is a room to move up now. But of course, as simply just discussed, that might make it difficult for the bear. So what do you do?
Okay. I can't remember immediately so what happened to Graham. So as soon as this respawn goes right next to me with Graham into, I'm gonna reach for Kai and cast what you call it.
I don't think whatchamacallit is a spell.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him. Her.
Okay, go ahead and give me that cast.
Ooh. No.
Should be in your, I think it's in your actions, yeah. Why do you have 3 cure wounds? Element, why do you have 3 cure wounds?
I don't know. It keeps copying itself.
Yeah, I was copy and pasting my ensnaring strike by accident.
I'll go ahead and remove those other 2. There you go.
Thank you.
But yeah, you are able to heal up Graham, and Graham, you are returned to, you know.
Graham coughs up blood. Ah, the pain.
Yeah, you are in quite a bit of pain, though your wound starts to slowly seal up. It's definitely going to leave quite the mark. Hey, but hey, chicks take scars. Usually chickens, but yeah. Anywho, is that the... I believe that would be the end of your turn, right, Elman?
Unless he moves.
Yeah, you could probably still move if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of like move past and or over Kai to get into position.
Yes.
And that is your turn. Moop. Next we have the Shadow Mastiff. I'm gonna go ahead and see who the Shadow Mastiff goes after.
We need to get Kai a mouth laser or something.
Oh,
Wait.
and you can remove the curse effect from Graham and Twilight because Graham got knocked out, and that ends the curse.
Okay.
Can wrist form cast Dragon's Breath on Kai? Because that would be terrifying.
That would be. And there's nothing stopping them, I think.
Can you imagine?
No, I could.
Bears just spewing fire every time it roars.
The only real question is Kai intelligent to understand friendly fire?
I don't know. I
Maybe
think that would
like-
be an intelligence check on her part.
You might need to like put a muzzle on her. Let's see. So get rid of the curses. Status effect. Hold on. Which one is effects? That's targets, attributes. This one's effects, right? Yes. Get rid of that. And for you, get rid of the other thing. Okay. Oh, goody. Anywho, whose turn was it? It is the Shadow Mastiff's turn, and the Shadow Mastiff was going to go attack. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and head off for Snowy in the Crown.
Also, I have a question. Is the darkness that Snowy is seeing magical darkness, or is it like a psychological thing?
I think it's psychological.
Damn it! But if the doggy can see invisible things, then it doesn't get disadvantage if it attacks. But if it can't see,
It does get disadvantage. It can't see Snowy. It's got some. Shadow Mastiffs have something that can kind of help with that, but unless Snowy is an ethereal creature, which I doubt Snowy is. Is Snowy an ethereal creature?
I'm not. I don't think so. I know Snowy isn't technically like a normal critter, but
If Snowy is technically an ethereal creature, the Hound can absolutely see him.
I don't think it is, because I think an ethereal creature is something like a ghost.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I do know Snowy was a familiar, and I don't know. So I'm going to heavily assume that's not, but he does have.
Yeah, I think Snowy counts as a magical beast.
So he will attack with disadvantage. And with disadvantage, he misses, I believe, just barely. Snapping at the air around Snowy. Snowy can tell probably that he's in danger, but can only really, of course, see the blue glowing eyes.
Well, I have planned now that Graham is awake.
All right, Twilight is going to go ahead and let's see. While Twilight is kind of struggling with this guard, a sort of mist starts to surround Twilight and the guard themselves. And then in a moment, the mist quickly vanishes, and Twilight is no longer there. The guard seems a bit dumbfounded as he finds himself sort of like, his arms still in the same position that they were, as he's kind of like almost sort of hugging himself now as he glances up and around at the rest of you. And
Twilight went invisible or teleported? One of the two.
potentially both.
Damn. If only I had the better curse blade stuff, then I could just teleport to him if she was still cursed.
Yeah, yeah. But then I gotta make another roll for them. People give me perception. Oof. Actually, I'm pretty sure your base perception, all of your base perception would be good enough to pick up on. Yeah. So you do see, she does appear to be. Except Craig. Craig, you don't notice. I was
That's
just gonna
fitting.
go. I was gonna go off of all of your base perception, but because they didn't even beat that. But Twilight does
I
seem to
think Craig
be.
should always have to roll.
Fair enough. The Twilight does seem to be up on the rooftop now, crouching down, seeming to try and I don't know, blend in or something. It's hard. It's hard for them though because it's a clear sky day and you can easily see their silhouette. So like you're just all looking at them. And they're just like, damn it. But Twilight is up here now. And that is the end of their turn. Keep closing the combat tracker for some reason. Boop. It is now Snowy's turn.
All right. Is there like a defensive action thing in 5th edition?
Explain? Like, what do you?
No,
What do you?
never mind. It doesn't matter because Graham goes next anyways. Alright, so Snowy does nothing.
Okay. On to Graham's turn then.
Alright. Graham is going to have Snowy go into pocket dimension with his action. So
Okay.
Snowy and the crown go bye-bye.
Can the crown? Can items enter the pocket dimension?
Yes, I know this because a familiar can be dismissed, and a sprite familiar actually has like equipment
That
and like weapons
does
and
not
stuff on it that go
mean
with it.
that does not mean that equipment and other items that it picks up goes with it. Just because
I mean,
a
it's not like it
sprite,
drops it.
I mean, the sprite would not drop its stuff because that's what it spawns with.
Yeah. Let's we'll
I don't.
look.
And looking at the spell, let's see.
It's fine, familiar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Takes an animal form.
It does not say one way or the other, so this would be up to DM call. Personally, I don't think it would take items with it. Mostly because that's a very broken mechanic.
Yeah,
I mean,
Going
you
to
steal
agree,
something and... Well,
yeah,
actually,
you could like.
we can consult Google. Usually there's some clarifications on that.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll
Like I said,
continue.
I just thought it was possible because again, because a sprite has like actual like weapon, like a sword, like a long sword, or like a dagger or something like that on it, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't just drop that stuff whenever it gets pulled into its pocket dimension. So
Please pause while we go through the D&D jurisdiction. You're definitely blind. Correct your own senses. As an action, you can teleport to Mr. Someone appears in his pocket dimension where it waits. Or you can wait forever as an action.
What I'm seeing here is it says you dismiss your familiar, not your familiar and everything they're carrying. It disappears into a pocket dimension. It here refers to your familiar. And there's no reason why it would mean your familiar and everything it is holding.
You can cast it.
I mean, I don't see why things that it had would just not go with it if there's a if there's an actual familiar that has like equipment.
The sprite
Because
is
that's-
not a normal familiar that you can choose from.
I know, but I have the thing that I have the pact of the chain right now.
But
It's 'cause
basically,
Snowy's-
the explanation with the sprite is that it is generated with that item, therefore it takes the item with it.
Meaning that the item is technically part of the familiar itself,
Yeah.
which I would agree with.
Well, if that's the case, then Graham is going to say, "Hey, we need to get rid of the shadow doggy." To the party, then.
As he's, kind of like softly holding his chest and bleeding out, while this fox guy's just kind of like sitting here, like, he's
Now,
sneaking back into the corner.
What I'm seeing here is that some people say that it's okay for, like, iconic things. Like, if you wanted to give Snowy a hat. Not the crown, but just like an iconic hat kind of thing. I would be
Like
okay with
something-
that. But
Something that's basically part of the familiar and not like you couldn't give Snowy a +1 sword that Snowy always uses, and then they just like disappear with the +1 sword.
yeah,
Alright.
it just
I
would
gue- I
make
gue- I
for
guess-
a
I guess if you
very
think about it, since
broken
familiars-
mechanic.
Like, if a familiar dies, they leave nothing behind. I guess the sprite doesn't necessarily doesn't technically drop its equipment.
That
Yeah.
would also be true, yes.
So yeah, okay.
Otherwise, you could just infinitely farm sprites and just sell the equipment and get easy gold.
I'm not sure the I'm
I
not sure
have-
that
I-
the equipment actually comes out to be worth more than 10 gold, though.
Well, yeah, but you could just infinitely farm them. So
There you go. D&D is broken by
Every time that you would summon the sprite, you would need to pay 10 gold to bring it back to life.
or you could find a new one. I think. Something. Okay.
That's not how it works.
If you find someone that's you just make a really good.
mercantile. Check.
I don't know. There's definitely some way I can break D&D. I can exploit D&D. Anywho,
Alright.
That being said, though, let's continue. So Snowy cannot disappear. You're just kind of sitting there on the ground, wounded a bit.
Wait, no, I'm going to Eldritch Blast Doggy. Since none of the other things I wanted to do actually work, so.
I will go ahead and give you disadvantage because you're shooting through Kai and Craig and Elman. And I think you're also still basically
I don't
prone.
think ranged attacks in this take disadvantage for shooting through allied spaces, though.
This is up to the DM.
Alright.
By the rules, no, you wouldn't. But, well, there is also the cover mechanic. And technically, Kai would definitely make for very effective cover for enemies on the other side. Cover just meaning that you can't see it.
Imagine this is you're attacking a doggo. I don't imagine it's pretty big.
Alright, well, disadvantage!
Miss.
Damn.
Which is sad because you dropped in 16, which definitely would have. I can't wait till one of you guys gets a disadvantage in that 20. And when I say disadvantage in that 20, I mean you still get the result of nat 20 even with disadvantage. But anyways. So you, from the ground, you just fire off one trying to shoot between Kai's legs and it ends up hitting the wall, kind of like just to the right of Kai. Since you're basically, I feel like you're just shooting in the general directions to properly at the doggo. But that is the end of your turn. And so it goes to wrist, Forn, and I double-clicked it again for some reason.
Okay. I'm gonna...
Don't give the bear lightning breath.
But what about fire breath?
Don't give the bear any sort of elemental breath that can do damage. It will end badly, I can assure you.
Wristform's gonna move up to here, bumping the guard to a proper square.
They're in between squares.
To a proper square. And we can still see Twilight up there, right?
Yes, you absolutely can. She got a really bad stealth roll and didn't even...
Boom!
Okay, we need a critical card for that.
Oh crap. Oh crap. Hold on. I gotta pick up the cards. I might have...
Nuke Twilight for me, Risforn. Avenge Graham!
Oh, in that case, can I take back that roll? Not
Why?
really. I mean, helping Graham? Really?
I mean, if you want to, like, sacrifice your heroism for it, sure, go ahead.
Nah.
I'll let you take a nat 1 if you really want.
Nah. Slow recovery. Quadrupled... Oh, wait, no. No. Wrong one. I was reading for slashing attack.
Yeah, this is not slashing. This is magical damage. That's a lot of damage.
Damn it. I'm trying to clean up all these cards. Okay. Got them all cleaned up. Let's see. Blink and you'll miss it. Quadruple damage, and the target must make a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target is unable to see you for 1 minute.
See specifically Risforn?
Yeah. Twilight would not be able to see Risforn.
Okay.
I like magical crits because they're interesting.
They are. Alright, so go ahead and roll me that damage. They did make the saving throw, though, so they are not blind, unfortunately.
I mean, they wouldn't be blind. They wouldn't be able to see, Risforn.
I would say, okay, so quadruple that.
No, we just quadruple the dice.
Oh, okay.
Make
So
it
that
much
is your quad
easier.
damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I am satisfied with this result.
Okay. The lightning bolt fires off and crackles and causes the individual to cry out in pain as the lightning clearly festers for a bit, crackling over that armor, and it seems to be doing, of course, a little bit more damage given the almost asking for it metal armor getting hit by lightning of all things. But they kind of do stand back up again, sizzling softly as steam comes from them, and they hold their blade out to you, Risfor. That is the end of
what?
your... They basically stand and point their blade at you.
My right eye would flash into almost like it's on fire, and he just gives a determined grin.
Okay, Craig, it is your turn.
Crag readies his bow to fire at Twilight. He's not happy.
You can go ahead and do the attacky 2.
If my mouse will let me. Alright.
It looks like you're getting much better rolls this time around.
Well, some of us are.
Well, that's going to miss, even though you didn't
Oops.
attack properly. I do know that that would miss. So you do fire off an arrow, and the sort of current of electricity that was going over their armor kind of makes them a sort of shiny target. And you shoot for sort of the outside of them, and you end up catching some of the electricity on the bolt, which kind of looks cool, but it whips right past them over the wall.
Oops.
And now the veteran who is still here, he glances up there and he just is like, right. He runs for the ladder and starts climbing up the ladder. And like, you just see Twilight kind of like glance down at him like, really? But that's his turn. Zyre, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to move to the Shadow Mastiff and give an attack with.
All right, you hit the Shadow Mastiff in the back. Go ahead and give me damage. All right, that is a decent amount of damage. It would be nice if you actually put it on the creature, guys. But the dog does seem to give a nice little yelp of pain as you slash it in the back with the flame blade. And it does seem to very much not like that sword. Oh, it actually does have resistance, so that would actually reduce the damage, I believe. How much does resistance reduce damage by?
Resistance to fire damage?
Resistance to slashing and magic, apparently.
And magic?
Yeah, it's got resistance to
Okay,
bludgeoning,
well, they
piercing,
would be
smashing, and
half
magic.
then.
Okay. So it only takes 7 damage, unfortunately. Whoop, nope, it's not taking 134 damage. Please, thank you. There we go. It does still very much not seem to like that blade, but apparently it has tougher skin than I actually thought. But nonetheless, you did some decent damage to it. Onto Kai, who is still kind of just unable to help besides roaring continuously.
She's still trying.
Alright, you can go ahead and give me a roll. And that's a wisdom save, so... Alright, so the dog does seem to kind of glance towards Kai, and his ears pin back as he seems to be somewhat frightened.
Kai did it!
Oh,
Yeah.
Good job, Kai.
And with that is Elmin's turn.
Enemy's gonna throw a javelin at Twilight.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Oh, that didn't work. Sorry.
We need a fumble. Mr. Zim.
Why does this always happen to Elman?
I'm getting the deck.
The previous roll before my previous roll was at 13. Damn it.
You're gonna stab. You're gonna javelin someone in the back.
Oh dear.
Damn it! I dropped the freaking card! Okay. You're
Zim
doing
epic
range?
Failed on the cards.
It is a ranged.
Yeah, I
He's
was doing
throwing a javelin. So technically ranged, I assume, yes.
Blind luck. Roll the attack again with disadvantage. If it hits, then it hits. If it misses, you take the weapon's damage. So you might get lucky.
All right, let's give that disadvantage roll. It's probably not gonna hit, boys. Like, so go ahead and give us another check, disadvantage, gentlemen. If this hits, though, I'll eat my hat.
Do you have a hat on you?
I have one that I like to keep around. Very nice hat.
Come on,
I
Element.
demand video of you eating this hat if it hits.
Yeah, I demand a video.
I demand video evidence.
Come on, Element. It's all riding
Alright.
on you.
Sorry. I just disconnected for a moment. What happened? What am I supposed to do?
Attack again with disadvantage.
Oh, okay. How do I do disadvantage?
There's a little button in the bottom left corner that says dis. You click on dis.
I don't have it, so I'm just gonna roll 2 dice.
You have it. Yeah, you did it. Okay, we've got another critical fumble.
Double fail.
That wasn't rolled right.
Oh, yeah.
So he gets to
you're right.
roll again. You click
Click on the button
DIS in the bottom left, and then roll it again.
You see where it says modifier?
Right next to the dice.
Literally right next to where you get the
Element, we need you to talk so we can know you're even listening.
Yes, I heard you guys, but I don't see it.
How do you not?
bottom-
It's not on
Literally
your
right next to the dice.
It's not on your character sheet. It's under chat.
Oh,
So you click dis and then you roll from your character sheet.
okay, I see it now. Sorry about that.
Okay, that is a miss.
And now you roll your damage on yourself.
Yep.
It's too bad. I was really hoping for a double fumble. So as Element, as you throw this javelin, because of the just proper angle, you throw it and it nicks off of the corner of the tower itself before it sort of like twangs into the wall, but very interestingly deflects and goes straight back to you and hits you right in the foot.
And I'm gonna yelp loudly.
I remember whenever our party felt competent in a fight. Good times. Good
So that is the-
times.
That is the end of his turn. The Shadow Mastiff's turn. He's gonna do his thing and go after Snowy.
He seems really fixated on Snowy for being scared. And
believe
having
it,
been lit on fire.
believe it or not, this is a trained dog.
Fair enough.
But he did hit Snowy, so I will go ahead and give Snowy lay attack damage.
Snowy might be dead.
Not yet.
No.
Looks like Snowy's heavily injured.
Yes.
And then is on to Twilight's turn. Twilight is going to go ahead and... What is this?
That'll work. Rishforn, you look on with a bit of look of oh no, as you see that as they go back to pointing their blade at you, you notice that their blade seems to start being charged with magic before a spell is fired out from it. I'm going to need saving throw from Kai, Elemen, Craig, Zyre, and Ristforn. As well
What
as
kind?
the dog. Dexterity save, I believe. Yes, dexterity. Actually, hold on. I can just cast it and...
Yeah, there's a saving throw thing that you can roll on each character.
Yeah. Whoop. Go ahead and...
You rolled the saves onto the whoever's getting attacked.
There, and there. Alright, so success, failure, success, failure, success. Okay. So how do I half damage, by the way?
It should just do it when you roll the damage on them now, unless I'm mistaken.
So a blast of fireball goes out and explodes, and that seems like more damage than what fireball. Fireball doesn't do 8d6 fire damage, does it?
You know, there's a reason for the memes about wizards and fireball.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Jesus Christ. Oh.
How is Twilight not gunned down by like archers on the wall yet?
Because the archers are about to respond. Luckily, we are getting some half damage. Oh no. I thought you had half! Oh god damn it. How much is...
I am yum.
Okay, I didn't get a dexterity. I'm sorry.
Kerchunk.
Kai, what's your dexterity save? Let me undo that. Does Kai save? Kai actually saves.
Woo! Tough bear.
So hold on, let me undo that damage and reroll. Good, there we go. Much better. Much more reasonable. And Craig, I think you're the only one that hasn't taken blunt damage from this. Oh, and the dog.
Poor
Dog
Noel.
is dead.
Well, the dog has resistance, but I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
yeah,
it's
he
still
does.
dead.
No, it's barely alive. Okay, so...
Good dog. Now leave Snowy the fuck alone. Run away.
Yeah, a fireball blasts right kind of like between Ristforn and Elemen. And luckily, because of the angle of it, Snowy is just barely spared from it. And then Twilight begins to run. They're like, yeah, all in a day's work. I can't.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's running because like there's probably like 20 guards with arrows pointed at
Yeah, no, there are guards actually starting to show up, like this fella here, who is coming up the guard tower. And there are other ones starting to come back now, and I don't have tokens for them, but they are there. So yeah. The only one that seems to be down is Zyre, but Zyre is still luckily alive. Just knocked unconscious. You should be easily able to heal them up. But
Can we still
Snowy's
see him
turn.
up there?
No, I just can't move them that far. But like, they're not 5-step footing back. They're like actually running over the rooftop.
Okay, so we
you
cannot
can make
see him.
chase. Yeah, they're not visible on the map, but you can take chase because you know which direction they go. If you really want to.
How tall are the houses?
I'd say 10 feet at their lowest point, which is probably going to be on the sides, and 15 feet at their highest point, which is
Can we get to my turn already?
well, it's Snowy's turn currently.
Well, Snowy's not gonna be doing anything because Snowy can't do anything. And how do I keep fucking missing with a goddamn +5? Why do you hate me, RNGesus?
Oh, Graham, you kind of like limp up and you're like, "Damn it, dog!" You kind of like slowly bring your sword up overhead and slash down on it, and the dog like easily jumps back and barks at you with its many teeth.
Did I somehow not took no damage for the fireball?
No, you took some, but you had a. Oh, did you?
Zyre's down. He's at 31 HP and 31 wound. So
Oh, no,
he's
hold on.
unconscious.
No, you did fail that. Then how much damage do you have? Hold on.
Element has 7 from when he messed up the javelin.
Okay, then I didn't roll damage onto him. Thank you for reminding me to kill Element. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of your teamwork here.
You're welcome.
Alright.
Okay, let's do this.
Well, it's Risforn's turn now.
Element's out too.
Larg.
So you got two down party members then. Fireball is fucking stupid overpowered. My apologies, everyone.
I think that entire character was stupid overpowered to go against level 4s, considering it did 20 plus damage on a normal attack.
Well, critical attack.
No, it did 20 plus and then it got critical because you said it did well over like 70 damage. So
Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. I wasn't expecting you guys to keep fighting it. But you did, and you actually did enough
what
to...
options did we have for retreat?
The way you came. Do you know how to get into town? Yeah, it's back the way you came.
You say that like as if we weren't already in the middle of town and that us being chased wasn't a possibility in the character's eyes.
I mean, it could have been, but like, you probably could have either evaded or they might have just, not gone after you. as I may or may not have been trying to allude to. But anyways, you've actually made it out of this better than I expected. And you did more damage to the boss than I actually expected as well. So you've actually exceeded expectations.
Good job, Risfor. That was literally all you.
Is it my turn yet?
Hold on. We need to finish up. Graham attacked. He missed. So yes, it is. It is your turn.
Perfect. All right, let me double check this ability.
So they aren't on the map right now. For clarification, they're running over the rooftops, going in that direction. So consider that as just a directional marker.
So my other phone broke. And I got a replacement one temporarily until the one I actually want is released this Friday. And I really don't want to go through all the effort of setting up everything, all my settings like I had them on a phone I'm going to have only for like 2 days. But God, this ringtone is annoying me.
You have a very interesting turn going on here about cell phones and whatnot, Wristform.
I know.
Is that what your turn was about? Does Wristform have a cell phone now?
Yes. Didn't you know that?
All right, Wristform whips out his cell phone. There's literally no signal, no connection, and no programming for the phone. So it's literally just a flipped piece of plastic. You don't even know what plastic is, strangely enough.
All right,
You don't know what this phone is made of.
Wristform is going to use a bonus action to make himself fly up onto the rooftops. Can he see Twilight?
Absolutely, yes.
Perfect.
Twilight is probably 30 feet away.
Perfect. Magic missile. At second level.
Isn't that
Come
like
on.
6 bolts or something like that?
I have no idea.
1, 2, 1, 2.
God damn it. Those are terrible. Actually, let me a wand real quick. I'm pretty sure that Gold King's doing some dumb manipulation of HP.
What? What do you mean?
You're changing his HP. Or
No,
at
no,
least
I'm
you did
absolutely not.
once.
Why do you think I changed his HP once? I've literally not touched the HP of Twilight. I've touched the HP of the Shadow Mastiff mainly because I accidentally typed in 134 instead of 13. And I forgot to add resistance damage.
For now.
All right, Craig, it is your turn.
Graham looks at Crag and points at the dog.
You do also have 2 unconscious members around you.
I can't do anything about that.
Kill Doggo before it decides to go for coup de grace.
Crag turns his attention towards the dog and fires his.
Oh
Crag,
no!
you idiot!
Oh my
Crag is
god.
the worst ranger in the world. He can't sneak or fire his bow half the time.
Craig, you look at the dog and you like pull back the bow, but like the arrow slips from your fingertips and like lands like in the square between you and the dog. And the dog just kind of looks at you.
Just like, what the hell, man? Crag just looks confused and sad.
I think the only people who have hit the dog so far were Zyre with the dragon breath, which couldn't miss, and
Wristform with his
and
critical.
Twilight with the fireball.
Yes. No, I think Zyre also slashed it with her
Oh
sword.
yeah, you're right.
He just had
Zyre did
resistance.
stab Doggo.
She slashed Doggo, which had resistance against slashing. Anyway, as the Fortitude Guard finally gets up the rest of the staircase, he moves over to Wristform and starts hopping up and running over the basically the tiles of the roof and platform to chase after Twilight. Ironically, he's not taken any damage during all of this. I was expecting him to die first. Zyre, death saving throw.
Wait, did he go below 0?
Yeah, both Zyre and Elman did. Not by a lot, but they did go below 0. That is 1 failed dying state from Zyre. Kai is fine and healthy.
Crap.
Enough. What?
Crag might be the only one that actually has healing.
I
Both
do
of
not
the-
have healing as far as I'm aware.
I mean, you can also make medicine saving throws to stabilize.
Medicine checks.
Doesn't that require wisdom? I don't think. Wait, yeah, Craig can possibly do it. I know Graham won't be able to.
The cat is making a ruckus. Hold on. Okay, the cat is screaming, but okay.
I will state also at this point, guards are rushing in. As I stated before, there would be
Graham is waving at them and pointing to the dog. It'd be like, help!
Move the turd along! I want to take
Alright,
down
so-
Twilight!
Elman, death saving throw.
Oh, yeah.
That is one successful death saving throw from Elman. Shadow Mastiff. Shadow Mastiff, seeming to be scared and whatnot, actually does something interesting. Is it growls and starts like slowly back away from everyone, keeping its like face towards everyone. Is it kind of like
Attack
back?
of opportunity!
Nah, it takes it. It's like literally like watching you to take a disengaging. While it's moving.
Okay.
And then, like, as it backs into, like, this kind of, like, dark corner, it actually, like, just straight up disappears.
Say what?
Yeah, there's apparently a weird status that this thing has, where if it's in enough darkness, it can do some stuff in darkness.
But isn't this the middle of the day?
Yeah.
There's still shadows, which all it really seems to need is a proper amount of shadows, which I would say that kind of corner is. I would also say that this is getting to be later day as well, because you've already gone through and you've saved the town from a bunch of fish people, as well as saved Moriarty from a tavern. You've been doing a bit of stuff today, so it is getting to be a bit more in the evening time.
No, I don't think I can do anything.
So the creature kind of like backs away and becomes temporarily, or I'm not sure if it's even temporarily, but it's invisible. It is currently invisible. That is the end of its turn. Right. Risforn, as you shoot Twilight and as those magic missiles like start pinging them against their back and like, I assume flying around them and like swooping in like little heat-seeking missiles and pinging them, they turn around and they just give sort of like annoyed like growl and then a shout as they would go ahead and you cast when you cast magic missile, what level do you say you cast it at?
He cast it at second.
Actually, I cast it at fourth.
You would have I was gonna say you would have to cast it at fourth level.
I used my
And-
wand of magic missile
Oh, okay.
because it allows me to do multiple charges for higher level. Why?
I just realized that you magic missile normally only has 3 bolts, and you shot 6.
Oh no!
I was just double. I
Fourth
was
level,
just
that's
double
fine.
checking with that. Gotcha.
I really think it should be 2 extra bolts per level, because just 1 is kind of pathetic. Whoa, a whole other D4 plus 1. I mean, yeah,
I
it's
get you.
guaranteed to hit, but just 1?
Anywho, as you kind of ping and ting them all over their armor and whatnot, doing damage to them, they thrust their blade out back to you, and you see a counter barrage of magic missile coming right back at you.
I will cast shield.
Okay, go ahead and cast that real quick before I throw the damage onto you.
That negates
Completely
all.
negates magic missile.
Literally, the shield spell, it adds 5 to my AC and negates all force damage, including magic missile. It's the only
Okay.
defense against magic missile.
Nice. Let me just double check to make sure you have that. Well, where do you have shield?
Oh! I thought I had it.
You do not, it seems.
Damn it!
You know, a DM of one of my previous games.
All right,
had,
do
like,
the
30
damage.
people join together and cast magic missile at my party.
Oof. Okay, that's a lot. Wait, am I supposed to? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if I'm rolling them all at once or if I'm rolling them all to. If rolling them all together actually does less damage, so I'll just go with that. Also, big goof. So yeah, that happens. They literally took count of the magic missiles you hit them with and fired back at that many exactly. Luckily, the guard who is there quickly takes note and starts to run back. Luckily, these guards are actually, altruistic. As Twilight begins making their escape over the rooftops once again. It was definitely a good try, though. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's the end of combat. Then, unless anyone else really wants to chase after Twilight, which
Graham
I do
does
not
not.
advise. Good, thank you, Graham.
Brisforn still wants to.
You know what, Ristvorn? Give me a Constitution saving throw, and if you critical it, I will let you get back up.
I mean, that's just a death saving throw. Well, that would have been a success.
Yep. Okay. But as that's happening, the guards are moving in to help stabilize. So we're basically just going to go through turn order to try and get people stabilized. Then at this point, I will go ahead and even let Snowy try to make a stabilization roll.
Snowy?
Well, I mean, okay, fine. If you really don't want to let Snowy have that.
I mean, Snowy's still alive, and I don't think Snowy can stabilize people.
I was going to allow it, but fine.
I mean, I'll roll.
Okay, Graham, you can.
No.
Okay, fine. Graham, you can go ahead and try to stable.
Oh, that's the wrong
Well,
one.
that's a nat 20. Oh, you know what? Because it's a nat 20, just only because it's a nat 20, I will allow it.
I investigate their bodies so hard, I find out what's wrong with them.
Investigation, medicine, basically the same thing. So with that, and again, this is only because it's a nat 20. If this was anything else, I would have. So Zyre is now stabilized. Still unconscious, but now luckily stabilized. Which brings us to Ristvorn's turn. You've already made your death saving throw, but you can go ahead and make another one if you really want to. I was just basically giving you that sort of haste death saving throw because you're really trying to go after them. And that is another success. It looks like everyone's going to be living through this. Craig, you can attempt to stabilize Element. The only person who I believe has actually failed a death saving throw, I believe. Unless that was Zyre.
No, I saved. I got a save.
Okay.
Craig is pretty dumb, though.
Is that enough to stabilize?
I think that I don't know what the DC for stabilizing someone is.
Hold on, let me consult the internet. I'm sure this is actually somewhere in the book itself too. But I don't know under which tab that would be.
I think it might be. I think it's either 10 or it's 15.
Usually it's just 10 for stabilizing somebody.
Yeah, DC 10 Wisdom Medicine check. You're correct. So that is enough to stabilize your friend Crag. So Elben, you are now stabilized, still unconscious.
Crag looked surprised at his success, but happy.
And then the Fortitude veteran would move to try and help.
I'm sure with
restore?
all of Crag's years of thieving, he probably learned some basic first aid.
But that was always on himself. It's different when it's another person.
Right,
Or
restoring
not
your
a bear. I
Your
mean,
wounds are tended to as everyone has been stabilized now as the guards start to move in.
Graham loots
make
the wall of
chase.
any magical items.
Right. You've actually remembered that there are magical items and whatnot tucked within the wall. Congratulations to you. So of the loot that is in there, let me also give everyone their start setting people up with this, that, and the other thing. This is actually going to be getting you a lot of experience. Mainly because you exceeded expectations. All of you.
And
Even
I
Crag?
even managed to keep the crown Twilight from just grabbing the crown and disappearing into the night.
You did. Mainly because Snowy kept it invisible, and unlike the dog, Twilight does not have anything to properly sense invisible creatures. So, because of that, you were actually able to save the crown and actively complete the additional portion of the quest, which is going to be giving you
Riskborn drove
quite a few
him off.
benefits. Even though you've failed the battle, you won the war.
I feel good about winning the war because my rolls were shit and I need a win.
Yes, even though you probably did not, well, I mean, you absolutely did not take Twilight down yourself. You can also take some solace in the fact that Twilight has now just lost the Crown of the King, which was one of the very rare artifacts that these thieves had to sell. This probably is going to do very bad for their reputation and could get them in trouble with quite a few people, especially knowing how Delphine was kind of on the run just for, failing to steal the crown herself. So, with that being said, we can go ahead and I need to get loot up. Where's... Right, it's up here. So, as you all start having your wounds tended to, and as you are all kind of, more or less taken care of, you would actually... while the guards are trying to figure out where to put you or place you, at some point, the fellows from the Kniff and Knife Tavern would happen by, hearing that there was a rather large scuffle going on downtown, including an explosion, which they just thought sounded cool, and they had a fairly decent feeling that it would have something to do with these thieves, given that they kind of pointed you in the right direction. Upon seeing several of your injured members who are unconscious and whatnot, they would be taken back to the Kniff and Knife Tavern so that they could properly rest. So everyone, once you can go ahead and, of course, set your HPs to 0, and then give yourself a long rest.
Just long rest, doesn't that?
You can do long rest.
Right, okay, that's right.
Combat tracker.
Yes, I keep forgetting. My apologies. I can only remember how. That's how. Yes, there it is. You all receive a nice long rest at the Kniff and Knife Tavern.
Alright. Now I just need my loot.
Yes. So I'll start partitioning out loot here. Now then, if I recall correctly, I gotta get the items from the library. There was.
Graham is also not going to mention to anyone that that Snowy has the crown yet.
That's perfectly fine. I'm sure. I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah. So as far as anyone knows, the crown has just disappeared.
Let me go ahead and give me a second here. So you're gonna find amongst the things that are there, amongst some of the tools, that you find some other stuff that they actually didn't properly offer you for sale. Of one of which being an acid vial. They were selling thieves' tools, of which they had up to 2 of. I believe they also had some lock picks in there, which are part of thieves' tools, but they had, additional lock picks. But that's not an item apparently. So
Give the Null the lockpicks.
Yeah.
Do we level up
give,
yet?
Crag all the.
I need to count out the experience, but I'm going to be guessing you absolutely did level up.
Woo! Then we have things to work out with you, Gold King.
What kind of things?
You'll see when you get on Telegram.
On Telegram.
It was the easiest way for me to deal with it because I don't like Discord.
Okay. You did send me stuff on Telegram. There's some stuff here, all right. I will look into that in a bit. First, I need to finish up the XP and the...
In my loot.
Yes.
Yeah, Crag, you can go into the party sheet and take the thieves' tools.
Where do I find the party sheet?
You know where the combat tracker button is? To the right
Yes.
of that.
Sweet.
You go party sheet and then inventory, and then you can just drag the thieves' tools into your inventory. As well as the lock picks.
So,
we'll
Gold
just go
King,
ahead
I think you've been giving us just saying we level up so far.
That was what I was doing in the past.
We
That is
don't have
correct.
an actual amount of experience that we already have.
Actually, you did. The last time you got experience, you got 133 because you got split amongst you. I believe experience from saving Moriarty. Or no, no, that was experience for killing the seamen. So I need to give you experience for saving Moriarty as a side quest. Experience for getting the crown here as a side quest.
Alright, so we'd have a base of 2,700 plus the 133, so 2,833 plus whatever you give us after that. So everybody go into your character sheets on the main tab, where it says class and level at the top. Is everyone paying attention?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, say that again.
The main tab of your character sheet at the top where it says class and level, click the magnifying glass to the right of that line, then put in the next level field 6,500. I put that in the chat, and then our current HP would be 2,833. Or XP, not HP.
Okay. Let me focus more on the inventory. We've got one of these in there.
So next level 6,500 and XP 2830. Hello?
Sorry, what?
So next level 6500, and the other XP is 2823.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we
Yeah.
have
That's
2833.
2833 is on the left, 6500 is on the right.
Okay.
An abacus? That seems like a weird thing for thieves to have.
They need to be able to count.
That's right. They probably don't math well.
Let's see. Here we go. You got one of those.
Crag is tempted by the dagger +1, but he already has one, so he'll not do that.
He has a +1 dagger already?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't recall giving you that.
I have 2 +1 daggers I got from. I don't remember, but I have 2 +1 daggers.
I don't know how you got. I didn't think I put. Okay.
One of them is apparently a throwing dagger, and the other one's just a normal dagger. I don't know how that works.
And and we have one of these. And that's about everything of note. I think they said that there were some other things they had for sale in there, but I think they were all basically crap items.
So the only real magic item that they had was the +1 dagger and the superior scroll.
They also had the
The crown.
oh yeah, yes, but they also had the ink bottle, the which they told you about, which did the invisible ink, and they also had the. I should probably. There you go. And they also had that acid vial, which isn't magical, but it could be useful. As well, you guys are going to be getting some gold because you find out they had a little stash in there. It's not a lot of gold because
Graham takes all the gold.
you're just taking all the gold. You're not splitting up with the party.
If it's only 100 gold, then no, he's taking it for himself.
Okay, Graham, go ahead and add 100 gold to your sheet.
Rude bunny.
He has shared everything that he has gotten out of everything else that he has found, and he's giving you the thieves set. He's giving the superior scroll to Risforn. He like literally any of that stuff.
We'll go ahead and see how the party feels about the rest of that, but then finally we need to do experience.
Does any of the party actually know that Graham looted the wall?
I mean,
I highly doubt
it's-
Crag noticed.
A wise decision.
There was Craig and there was one up.
Risforn noticed.
Just Risforn, like for a hazy second, as you're being carried over shoulder by the guard captain, you kind of like casually see Graham doing something with the wall with like a giant hole in it, and then like you just pass straight back out again. Only because you nat 20'd. Only because you nat 20.
I mean, Graham has been saving up for like ever to get shit, so.
Well, you're gonna have to deal with that.
Well,
with your
considering
party.
he's giving Risforn a superior that superior scroll, I think that's fair compensation.
I mean,
That, and he's the one who figured out where all this shit was hidden.
all right.
And he's
So
not
let's
gonna
see.
lie about it. If anyone asks him about it, he's gonna be like, I need the money. I've been trying to save up for this thing forever.
Okay,
Yes,
so how do
we all need the money.
Crag only has 10 gold.
Well, whenever we return the crown to the king and get that reward, which I'm sure will be quite a lot, that's what we can split. I don't see any.
how do
Well,
I
you
add-
got fine. You got the reward here. The rest of us will split the reward for the crown.
Oh, here we go. Create item.
Problem solved.
Graham will toss if that's the way you want to do it. I'll just have Snowy toss it in the fucking river.
Whoop. Nope. Okay. There we go. There's for that. Create another item. That's going to be for beating the Shadow Mastiff.
And there's also that whole thing, like, remember whenever you guys were all finding the gems in the closet and then you guys never shared any of that with me?
Just give me another second here to finish this up. It's going to be another... Is someone sleeping?
Oh, sorry, that's my father. Sorry if you can actually hear that.
So my apologies for this taking a moment. I'm just putting in the final thing now.
And we're level 5 now, right?
Most likely, I'm putting in your rewards right now, and we'll see if that's enough to put you over. But I'm guessing it is, given that I'm giving you a lot of XP for these things. All right, so you got 4,500 XP for taking down Twilight, 450 for the Shadow Mastiff. Well, actually, you get 4,500 for driving off Twilight. If you actually had defeated Twilight, that would have been more XP.
Actually,
You basically defeated the Shadow Mastiff, though. They were like on their last hit point.
Actually,
more or
Graham
less.
will give 50 of the gold to Risforn on second thought, because he did do most of the work driving off Twilight. So
For saving Moriarty and for capturing one of the wanted criminals, that's only 1,000 XP. Because that wasn't too hard for you guys. You almost didn't do it, but you got it. You had the optional side quest of getting the crown to return it, which is netting you an additional 5,000 XP, which is basically doubling what you got from Twilight and the Shadow Mastiff, and for getting Delphine's compensation, that was 2,500 XP. In addition, as I have stated in the past, people would be getting additional XP for roleplay. So, first things first, Risforn, you can go ahead and reward yourself an additional 500 XP for A, chasing after Twilight, and B, trying to teach Crag magic. Graham,
Yay!
Graham, you can go ahead and award yourself an additional 500 XP for being Mr. Play of the game here by being able to hide the crown and making the completion of this quest possible.
Okay, so are we... Normally, XP when you're awarded is split between all of the party members.
That is correct, but this XP is going specifically to you, so I need you to edit it into your sheet.
Okay, and then you'll add the rest?
Yes.
Okay.
So this XP is being awarded to individual people as bonuses for good roleplay. Craig, you can go ahead and give yourself a nice additional 250 XP for actually going along with learning and making an effort to get Craig some magic, as well as using magic with Craig.
Crag is getting smarter. He
Yes.
didn't actually use the ensnaring strike until I think he learned a bit of magic, so that's something.
Yes, it is. That's why I felt it was worthy of a reward.
How much was it again?
250. So you should be at 3,008. By the way, Craig, you should set your necessary XP to 6,500, not 65,000. Because it's going to take you a lot of time to level up if that's the case.
yeah, don't forget Zim to add 50 gold, because Graham would be splitting the 100 gold with at least Risforn.
All right, and we will go ahead and award all these nice little quest bits. So,
Riskfarn will share his 50 with everyone.
how do I... It's not rewarding.
But yeah, as far as all the other items, anyone else is free to help themselves to, whatever Graham didn't divvy out.
Okay, that added XP for that. It's not adding XP for the quests. There we go.
Alright, so everybody add 12 gold to your inventory. Except for Graham, because you already have 50.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are close to next level, but you're not quite there yet, unfortunately. It's gonna be happening soon, though. There probably will be an XP reward once you get the bounty turned in back at Fortitude, since you do need to make the trip with him still. And he's not necessarily going to be easygoing. Maybe, who knows? We'll see how that roleplay turns out. But very good work from everyone. I'll go ahead and remove these quests now. Because I've rewarded the XP for them. There we go. And yeah, currently that should be just about everything. Oh, Riskforn, give yourself an additional 200 experience for the Ministry of Magic.
Ha! It pays off.
It does. Because it's good roleplay. All right. So, with that being said, everyone, you find yourselves mostly waking up at the Knife and Knife Tavern. Craig and Graham. I think you're the only two ones who are actually still awake after the fact. So you guys have some free time to do something in the downtime if you want to. It's up to you. You can...
Craig is practicing casting an alarm spell on the window in Riskfarn's room.
All right, very nice. Go ahead and give me some rolls for that, if you want.
Should I just do a skill roll?
Yes.
Riskfarn will help him try it out.
No. You're currently...
I think you're asleep.
Yeah.
Would that be
Oh.
Arcana?
This
or
is
just
happening
like a
during your
D20?
sleep time.
Or like in wisdom?
Give me not an Arcana check. Yeah, give me some Arcana checks just to basically see if you're doing it and properly understanding it, which you are.
Graham is gonna try to convince the super rich boys. Because now that he knows how much they probably got for the crown, as it was in the millions of gold for the buying price.
Wait, what?
Yeah, remember whenever they were talking about how much the crown would have cost to buy?
Yeah.
So Graham also knows that the tavern boys lied to him about not being able to spare more than 1,000 gold.
Yeah,
So
they are there, and you can talk to them if you want. They are there, and they're more than happy to help you out.
Yeah, Graham's gonna talk to them.
And like they're both at the bar, and they like look down to you and smile and say, "Hey, what can we get you, buddy? Everything's free on the house."
Yes, that Marcus guy outside.
Yeah.
I would really like a like one of the breastplates
What?
for armor.
Breastplates.
Yes, armor.
They glance to each other in confusion, and they glance back to him. I suppose might as well. It's not like we don't have the money. They go out, they bring you to Martis. Martis and his wares. And of course, Martis is sitting there,
big, fat, and happy, and he's like, "Oh, what can I do for you, little bunny man?"
Yes, I am looking for a breastplate armor.
Right. I sell weapons.
You don't sell anything else.
No, this is Martus's weapons. I have some great weapons, though, for you if you like. Want something dead? Buy a sword.
I don't know how much +1 swords cost in 5th edition.
I think it's only like around 1,000. Hold on, let me double check. He's definitely got some. But let me see. Take another look at the items. Are you looking for a long sword or a short sword?
Long sword, but actually, Graham will see how much the +1 dagger sells for, and then use the
Well, that's
So that
weird. There aren't prices listed with these. Which is weird, because I thought these had actual prices on them. Are you looking at the +1 daggers?
No, Graham is selling that +1 dagger.
I'll give you 100 gold for it.
100 gold?
100 gold.
What do I roll to see if I'm being gypped?
Probably insight?
Graham knows nothing.
Graham, you're pretty sure that this is the best deal you've ever heard of in your life. 100 gold for a dagger, even if it's a magical one, is just great. And you don't even think about it. You just hand him the dagger, and he takes it and he gives you 100 gold. Pleasure doing business with you.
Graham is gonna ask them if there's a blacksmith in this city.
Is he asking Martus or is he asking the other?
The other two.
Okay. The other two would lightly nod, and they could show you off to where the fella is. He seems to be near the stables, as he's most accustomed to actually making horseshoes more than weapons and armor. Even though it's not that he's not experienced with such, but horseshoes actually make a lot more money and are a lot more commonly needed by people.
Okay, but he can make armor.
He can. He absolutely can. Yes.
Okay, because I was about to say this place has its own guards. How can the blacksmith not make armor? And
No,
weapons?
he absolutely can. But like, as far as commercial trade goes, making horseshoes and stuff like it's just more profitable.
Yeah. So Graham will be like, okay, so if you get this for me, I'll kind of forget that you kind of lie that you fudge the truth a little bit about
About what?
About not being able to spare more than 1,000 gold. They told us how much that thing was worth for buying.
Oh yeah, no, we just didn't want to pay that much.
Well, so you get me the breastplate, and and we can still be friends.
Sure. What kind of breastplate did you need?
Just a regular one will be fine.
Do you need it in half plate, chainmail, what?
No, there's literally just a piece of armor called a breastplate.
Oh, fair enough.
It's literally just a piece of metal that covers the front half of your chest.
You sure you don't want something fancy? Maybe we could throw some little
I mean, either
designs on it. We can make it really fancy for you. You have the gold.
I don't really need anything fancy. I just need things to survive. So, only things that I require is weapons and armor. So I mean, if you want to get me a +1 longsword too, that's entirely up to you. Again,
Right.
you know, doing friendly things for people, like me setting you up for life.
Fair enough. Why don't we get you something especially good then? They say as they kind of like go through his stock and duh. They actually go ahead and they would buy you they'll go ahead and even buy they'll do you one better because, you know, money. And they buy you a mithril breastplate,
Ooh.
which basically it's a little more flexible and doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth checks.
The
And it does
breastplate
not have
doesn't.
also doesn't have a strength requirement either.
I don't think the breastplate actually has any of those because I think it's medium
Well,
armor.
according to the mithril description, mithril is a light, flexible metal. A mithril chain, shirt, or breastplate can be worn under normal clothes. If the armor normally imposes disadvantage on dexterity, strength, dexterity, stealth checks, or has a strength requirement, the mithril version of the armor doesn't. So,
Ah.
either
I'll definitely
way,
take
it's
it.
they're doing something nice for you. They're giving you mithril.
Yes. And now that them and Graham are friends for life.
So that's added to your inventory now. Do with that what you will.
Alright.
I think it added as graceful breastplate armor.
That it did.
Execute
Which I will go.
Order 66.
Oh no, what the hell's going on? Why are the clones dying? Oh no.
I think that I don't think that's the one where the clones die. I think that's the one where they kill all the Jedi.
Oh yeah, you're right. Fuck. Pardon for this being basically all clerical at this point. So you get the mithril breastplate. Then they're like, okay, and they're also willing to buy you the sword as well, as you know. You guys set them up for life. They're happy with you guys, and also Craig had like you have, yeah, stuff happened. It's totally not because I feel bad for
Alright,
like
so,
almost TPKing the party.
So +1 sword too.
Added
Long
to
sword.
your inventory. Martis is very happy that you have made this purchase.
I am very happy to support Martis.
Come again sometime. There are loyalty rewards.
In 5th ed, the +1, what does that do?
It basically gives you a +1 to attack,
Does
and
it
that's about it.
damage?
Let me
Attack and damage?
double check real quick.
One
magic
eternity
weapons,
later.
unmistakably finer in quality than other ordinary counterparts. You have a +1 bonus to the attack rolls and damage rolls you make. Okay, so yes, and damage. Boop-a-doo-boo. So that's done. So Graham went out and he bought some stuff. Craig, you, in doing your magic and arcana, you have a very well understanding of how to use magic now. You understand how you summon the magical jingly bits and whatnot. Now
He
you can...
probably at some point trips on his alarm spell and makes a loud noise.
Yeah, maybe, but like you set them up all perfect. Or at least,
Woo.
you know, you set them up properly. And you feel good about yourself because you feel like you're actually learning magic. Yay! Graham converts half his gold to gems.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to need to find a jeweler for that.
Is there one in this town?
Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Snowy would probably help with this. Especially since Graham is notoriously bad with this kind of stuff.
Yep. Nah, you unfortunately
Graham asked Tavern Boys.
the tavern boys kind of look to each other and think on that, and they've been like, "We haven't been to a jeweler yet, have we?" No, I don't know if there is one in town actually. We could ask around, I suppose, and they would go and do so to see if other people in their family know about it. There is one who mentions a general goods store, kind of like a thrift shop, but used goods store, where you could potentially pick up some jewelry and whatnot if you're looking for that kind of stuff.
Graham will hold off until he can actually get like an actual like when they get back at the capital and you can actually get like legit gems for Greaves.
Yep. Okay. So, with all that being said and done, everyone else, you're going to be probably you, Graham and Craig. You both, once you're done with that, you take your rest for the night, checking on your friends and whatnot. You get your long rest technically at this point, but I've already applied the long rest, and so you all wake up the next morning. Some of you, of course, wake up with your bandages and tended wounds, whereas the rest of you are waking up still feeling mostly fine. Graham, you still had a giant slash across your chest. Really, the only one who wakes up without any aching pains is Craig.
Dumb null powers.
You can't be hurt if you're too stupid to feel. So you're all able to start your days off as you see properly. Some of you, of course, the last thing you remember was literally just a giant fiery explosion. Versus Ristforn, who basically remembers his attack hitting off and feeling great about it, and then having his attack basically shot right back at him.
No, he's fine.
Okay. Whereas when you would wake up, if anything, just kind of like bruised all over because those things hit you basically back and forth all over. Also, you did kind of barely dodge a fireball.
Also, everyone can add 18 more gold to their inventory.
We can just go ahead and
because Graham's spreading out a little bit more of his gold since he got stuff for free.
All right, I think we're slowing down to the point where we can go ahead and end a little early tonight.
Okay, I was gonna.
And we can get started next week with the next chapter.
We do have half an hour left, but if you so see it as fit,
I mean, do you have something in particular planned?
I have quite a few things planned.
Right, well, we can keep going.
Yeah, we can keep going. It's not that this is like the end of the. I just having you guys wake up, figure out what you're gonna do this morning.
You say to go.
Sorry, what?
Craig excitedly shows Ristforn all his alarm spell successes.
He does it. He does so by opening the windows and setting off the alarm.
Yes.
I just kind of imagine that every piece of furniture in his room has an alarm on it.
And it's all just going, ma, ma, ma.
I always thought the alarm spell was more like in your head kind of thing.
I believe it is.
It can be out loud.
It can be?
Yeah, you choose whether it's out loud, in your head, whatever. Honestly, I think that Craig probably would have defaulted to out loud.
Probably.
Does he even know about, like, in his head stuff? I think that stuff confuses him a bit too much.
Yeah, you can choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. Though, to be fair, when you cast the spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. So, Craig could be smart enough, probably not, but he could be smart enough to not have it trigger for him or for Craig, so he would like, need to drag someone and be like, "Hey, open this window."
I mean,
Well, he wanted
probably
to-
for the first time he does it, I'm pretty sure he would not. He would not
I would
have
say at
the
least-
foresight.
I would say for the nat 20, he like figures out and he's like, "Oh," he's like, he does it perfectly. Where like he has it set so that doesn't trigger for him or Craig, or Graham, I should say. No, it triggers
So
for
there's-
Graham absolutely. Doesn't
There's
trigger
one
Chris-
item in the room that will go off randomly once someone comes in and touches it when they leave.
Basically, yeah.
I feel bad for the owners of this tavern.
I was asking if that said that we all get 18 gold.
Yeah, Graham was sharing 72 of his gold with everyone else.
All right.
All right, so you guys, Rishforn, you've woken up to the alarm spell. The rest of you are just, I guess waking up. Elman, Zyre, what are you doing this morning?
I wanted to go buy some studded leather armor.
Okay, you can get up and you can go and do that if you have the gold for it.
Yeah, I do.
Craig, this is fantastic, but let's work on refining it a bit.
Craig says I did it perfect. It goes off.
But there's more you can do with it.
But it's an alarm spell. It does alarm.
You can
I'm
make it so
imagining this is
only
probably
you
like-
hear it in case you don't want those breaking in to be aware of it.
He sits and thinks about that one for a second, not quite sure what that means.
More stealthy, more sneaky.
Come on, Craig, you're a thief. You know what that means.
After he thinks about it for a second, he smiles. That sounds good.
Excellent. Well, let's get you. Risforn's gonna pull Craig into the room and help Craig disable the alarms that are currently there. Before setting down with him to teach him more about it and what he can do with it.
Wouldn't you need to dispel those?
I mean, Craig can just Craig can technically just dismiss them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
you
don't
two
see-
hear Graham in the background just quietly screaming through the walls.
Yeah, I don't see where it says on the spell that you can dismiss the spell.
Isn't it a concentration spell?
It is not. Oh, but it does require components. He needs a tiny bell and a piece of fine silver wire, which I will allow you to have retroactively bought, Craig.
Well, he probably keeps at least some of that on him anyways.
Well,
But yeah.
Do you have some in your inventory?
Or a
No.
spell component pouch. Because
No.
if you have a spell
I will
component
accept the DM's grace in assuming that he probably just picks up shiny things sometimes too.
pouch.
Like I said, I will allow you to retroactively
Okay, so
buy
the alarm
tiny
only
bells.
lasts for 10 seconds when they enter.
Yeah.
So it's not that long of a alarm.
It doesn't last that long. We do need to get you a tiny bell and a fine piece of wire, which strangely enough isn't consumed. It's just focusing components. Or wait, no, is it consumed? It should be consumed, shouldn't it?
I have no idea, but you can take whatever out of my inventory. I don't know how much
I
that.
don't think it's consumed unless it says so. And also, if Crag gets a spell component pouch, then he basically automatically has everything that doesn't have a price tag on it in the components.
Well, looks like
Or he
needs to
can get a
component
spell focus.
Yep.
Either
That
way,
as well.
Risforn's going to help him learn more magic
pouch. I will go ahead and
By-
reduce.
demonstrating and showing how things work and explaining in simple terms how he can, you know.
I have reduced your money to pay for the tiny bell and piece of silver wire, which I will now add to your inventory.
Thank you.
There you go. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, it alphabetically sorted itself. Cool. So what were you doing, Ristforn?
He's teaching Crag magic.
Okay.
I was explaining more, but you weren't listening. So, suffice to say, he's teaching.
He's adding to his sheet. All right. Well, as Ristforn and Crag are teaching in the morning, Graham, what are you doing this morning?
Well, I imagine whenever the alarms first go off, Graham, being a rabbit with really sensitive hearing, probably wakes up very unhappy and probably screams until the alarm stops. And then angrily goes in and gets breakfast.
So you just like sit up in your bed, scream, and you do nothing. You don't go check it out. You just scream and then go down and get breakfast.
He probably still hurts a little bit, and his familiar is currently in a constant state of fear. So he's a little out of it and probably very grumpy. Unless he feels that there's an immediate threat against his life, he probably doesn't give two shits right now. He just wants to get away from the sound and like get back into like a working mental state.
Luckily, it only lasts for 10 seconds. Well, 10 seconds times 4, because he did 4. But I would assume that natural 21 wouldn't actually set off it. Craig unknowingly made the natural 21 a mental one. Because the natural 21 is a perfect one. He's an absolutely perfect one. Quit sticking your tongue out at me.
I just fixed the sticker.
Fix the sticker. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. That said, so Graham goes down to get breakfast. Craig is working with Ristforn on magic. Kai is off doing Kai things. Zyre and Element, what are you doing? In no particular order.
Zyre will probably get breakfast after buying his armor.
Right, yes, you were getting studded armor, Zyre. I forgot about that, my apologies. Element, what are you doing?
When Element wakes up, he opens his eyes. He just stays on his bed for a moment, contemplating, and then he just goes back to sleep. He doesn't look very happy at the moment.
Relatable. Okay, Zyre. You go off to get studded leather armor. Let me go ahead and get that item up. We're currently doing this again. Studded.
I already found the item and did all the gold transactions yet,
yeah,
so it's all good to go.
I will trust you on that.
Yeah, I rolled that to see, like, because Graham being connected to his familiar, Graham probably did not sleep very well. Like, it would probably barely count as a long rest.
All right, Graham and Graham and Zyre then. I assume the both of you sit either at the same table or near each other and get your food while everyone else does their general morning stuff. As time passes, you both get, a nice, decent meal to start off your day. Ristforn and Craig, what are you doing as far as magic training is concerned? Also, what have you guys done with the hostage?
I do believe City Air is still,
yes, that is right. City Air was sitting on him.
Craig may have put alarms around the hostage as well.
Ristforn's mostly explaining the different things that you can do with the alarm spell, as well as suggesting different tweaks and things to cast it a bit better.
Sounds good. So, because I've just been informed that it would actually be helpful for some individuals here tonight to actually have ended early, this would still work as a good place to sort of leave off the morning after, where you're waking up and getting yourselves all ready and set to head out again.
But yeah, before we get too into the next piece that comes after it, we'll go ahead and leave off here.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us for Tales of Miraleth Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week with more of it. I will be back tomorrow with Borderlands 3, followed by Pokemon Sword. Hope to see you all here for that. Thank you. Actually, I might not be doing Borderlands 3 tomorrow. I just remembered the friend that I do that with is going to MFF, and I don't know if he's already there or going later. Anyways, I will be back tomorrow with at least Pokemon Sword. So come on by, hang out, let's have fun. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. Because of you guys, I am able to continue bringing this content to you all. Really can't do it without you guys. Don't forget to hit that follow button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, ring that notification bell and come join us live over here on Twitch. Thank you again, and I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Farewell.